Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 49 of the Made of Things podcast. I am your host, Antonio Maria Correia. This time I'll try to be swift or relatively quick, even though the last time I said this, I took about 20 minutes, so I hope that doesn't happen this time. So, guys, much like last week, the thing which was like a couple of episodes ago, much like a week ago, actually, precisely, at the time I'm recording this, I'm going to ask you for good vibes, to send you, not to give you any homework, but, my dad's is going to undergo some surgery. It's really noisy where I'm recording today, actually. But important things first, my dad is undergoing surgery in about, I would say in about 12 hours, so we're counting down, and he's undergoing, that's not the easiest of surgeries because of its specificity, exactly, because I always have trouble with that word, because of being so specific, and he's getting fistula, which is like a really tiny crack on his forehead, fixed, and they need this technology that isn't usually very very common or very used, but still it's not open heart surgery, but the risk in case of my dad is that he's been taking for other illnesses, blood thinners because of blood clots and stuff like that, actually surgery related to other surgeries, post-surgery. He doesn't have blood clots, but there was this risk. He did have blood clots. His blood was clotting up after surgery about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, actually. In 2011, and he it's something that sometimes happens to former smokers and for people who are of a certain age. My dad's still 64, so he's not he's not necessarily old. He's he's in very good shape. Actually, never been bigger, his belly, but still, reasonably healthy, and both my dad and my mom are still are already in their 60s. Sorry if I'm sorry to my parents if I'm actually outing them underage, but who cares? I'm 35, by the way, and they're still very good looking and very youthful. So, and both in looks and in spirit, and in spirit. So, because that's until recently, my parents went out, clubbing more than I did. So yeah, and we go out. I have a tight relationship with my family, and we're very close, and we have go out to dinner all the time, like twice a week. It's maybe more. But so yeah. So just asking you guys for the sending of good vibes to my parents, to my dad in particular, because he's undergoing surgery in 12 hours, as I said, and he's because of the blood thinners thing, and because general anesthesia always has some risks to it. Just send your prayers and your good vibes, not prayers, but good vibes towards my dad. This was supposed to happen last week, but because of a medical strike, it got delayed, so we're undergoing, we were going through this again, the nervousness and the racking up of nerves and anxiety. Anyway, so enough about that in terms of speaking. I'm going to deal with that for the next, 18 hours or something. So maybe last time I didn't get any sleep until he was out of the hospital when they told us it wasn't going to go through. So yeah, just best wishes for my dad, and hoping that everything goes awesomely, and hopefully it will. So yeah, if you're thinking about that and sending me good vibes and sending my dad good vibes, then I thank you. So okay, on to the introduction of the proper episode. So the guest on this episode, episode 49, is John Herndon of Tortoise. And Tortoise are an amazing band. They're like this. I would say they're like the inventors of post-rock. Not that genres are really important, but they seem to have founded back in 91 maybe. I think so. I only heard of them for the first time in 94, I believe, with TNT. I did not check this for recently, so this is just like just this loose knowledge of what I have. I think TNT is 94, I think, and then Millions is 96, I think. Pretty sure. So I think they were around before then. If they weren't, then it's not 91, it's like 94. I don't know. I don't remember. I know I knew this, but I don't remember exactly right now. Whatever. They've been awesome since the beginning, and they pretty much founded. I'm recording this next to if you guys are listening to traffic, it's because I'm recording this in an unusual place. I usually record this in like a tight room with no interference from the background, but I don't care that this time, I'm just excuse me. I'm just recording this on the fly and whatever. So and hopefully getting this up very soon. So later tonight. Okay, so basically, John's awesome. If you haven't watched, my point was that Tortoise are, and that's not Tortoise, it's Tortoise, because for some reason people in Portugal say Tortoise. I know it might not be an English word, but it's an English band, an American band, but and they basically, that's how you say tortoise. It's a type of turtle. So, and it's not Tortoise. It's in Portuguese is cagado. So yeah, it's tortoise, not Tortoise. For some reason, people over here say Tortoise for no reason. But yeah, because it's French. Because people know how to speak French and pronounce things in French, and yeah. So some people say Tortoise, whatever. Okay, so it's Tortoise, and John, if you haven't watched Tortoise live, please do. They're awesome. I've watched them a couple of times, once in Primavera in 2010, I believe, maybe 2011, maybe. I think 2011, and it was awesome. I once met John McIntyre also at in 2006, I believe, playing in Lisbon with the Scene Cake, which is his other band. But John wasn't available for this interview. We spoke to John Herndon, who I hadn't met before. And yeah, he's a quiet dude. He's so this episode really might take some time to take off for you. It's kind of I'm not editing it, so we got interrupted by this girl of another band. She was very drunk. They're actually not a girl, not a Portuguese band, and nor I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you which band it is because I don't even remember. But it's this girl from a Spanish band who played at Primavera Sound in 2016. They were backstage and they kind of interrupted us during the interview. Or the chat. These are not interviews. And hardly, but barely interviews. They're just chats I have with people and getting to know them and have some fun and say some bullshit. So yeah. So John was. You can't tell from the audio. This is already on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, it's more fun, I guess, to watch it. John's a quiet dude for a while, and then he starts opening up, I would say. This is my personal take on it. He opens up more towards the end of our time. So on the YouTube thing, you'll catch the more fun. On the YouTube video, the video thing is not the podcast. The video episode, it'll have the more fun stuff up front. I decided to just shift it a little bit this time. Okay, so another thing is that these guys to me are like the founders of post-rock, before Godspeed You by Black Emperor and whatever, Explosions in the Sky or whoever. Fucking noisy today. Jesus. Stop honking. I live in the middle of the city in Lisbon, so yeah, I should be more careful next time while recording this. But fuck it, I don't care. It's not very bothersome to you guys, I hope. Okay, so yeah, this was recorded with John at Primavera Sound in Porto. Last year in 2016. Again, the interview, the episode is on video, is already up on YouTube, which you should check out. I'm not going to sign out this week, or sign off, I mean. Sign out, because I'm logged in. Yeah, logged in, made of things. I suggest you follow John's work. He's also he draws amazing stuff. He's an amazing drummer, first off, an amazing musician in general, but very surprisingly, much like everyone in Tortoise, by the way, they're all really they all excel at what they do. John McIntyre I didn't know was amazing until I saw him play live, and John Herndon, hadn't watched at all, as far as I remember, maybe before, at least intensively, and another amazing player. Like they're mind-blowingly good. So and Tortoise music really, there's something to be gained from watching them live. It's just like, the records are one thing, they're awesome, but they're, really good. And records are excellent, but when you watch them live, then it suddenly comes to life in a much bigger way. So it really messes with you and gets into your bones and stuff like that, and your entrails, and your it passes the tortoise shell. Passes through the tortoise shell. It goes through. Sorry about being corny. This was disgusting. Okay, so guys, go check out John on John's music and John's art as well. He draws these things and also is a prominent skater, so it's a fun dude. It was a sweet interview. Keep calling these things interviews. No, yeah, but whatever. Technically they are. Who cares? So yeah, John Herndon of Tortoise at Primavera Sound. Guys, please, if you haven't already, subscribed to YouTube, Made of Things on YouTube, Made of Things on iTunes for the podcast version, which is what you're getting now, which I also post on Facebook, on YouTube if you care. Some people, seem to prefer that. You can also download these things for Android and PC if you like to listen to them on Android phones and devices, and not on the go, but mostly these are on the go. That's why I put them up on as a podcast version. Also, I get to speak. Also, I get to sometimes include stuff that's not originally on the video episode. Not originally, I would say on the episode that I post on video, which I tend to do before I put out the podcast ones. Okay, enough. Plus, there's also some stuff that's podcast exclusive only. There's no video. For instance, we'll have Lush coming up. We also did a Primavera in Barcelona last year. White Reaper as well. Here's an ambulance. Maybe this is a sign that I should be going. Okay, guys, please enjoy John Herndon of Tortoise at Primavera Sound in Porto in 2016. Please enjoy. Bye-bye. Love you all. And thank you for wishing well to my dad. On. How are you, man?
Good, man.
Just got here?
Yeah.
So where you been since last week in Barcelona? Because this is twofold Primavera now.
Yeah. A lot of shows in France. We were in Lille and in Nîmes. And yeah.
So you basically just arrived?
We got here at about 2 this afternoon.
Okay, that's pretty. I mean, there's not too much of a space between arriving and playing, really.
Yeah.
So are you stoked for tonight? Are you? Because I've seen Tortoise play as a longtime fan. I'd never seen Tortoise play until like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then I watched you guys play at Primavera Barcelona like 6 years ago. I don't remember if it was 2010 or 11. Fucking amazing show, dude. Really impressive. I mean, because I love the records, but I didn't know it was so intense live. Is it intense for you? Like the music, does it fill you up with energy?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay, cool. So what's it like for you being over here? I don't remember you guys playing Portugal.
It's been a long time, but we've played in Porto and we played in Lisbon, club shows. I can't remember the date or even the venue, but I remember being here.
Okay, sure, of course. No, it's a lot of shows. I remember. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't. That's why one needs to ask.
Yeah.
And plus, it's always good to know for local people and stuff like that. Yeah. Even though my podcast and my show is totally in English, so whatever. But so it's worldwide. So, but it's always interesting for us to know like how the bands feel and stuff. So, because some people are like, oh, it's always the same question. So, no, it's a good question. It is. But so for instance, like the Catastrophists. It's when I was listening to it, it was like, oh, this sounds like classic Tortoise. Does it feel like that to you guys as well?
Well, I think the 5 of us playing instruments together has a certain sound. So it's not unlikely that when we play together, it's going to sound like Tortoise, right?
Sure. Okay, sure.
But I think that there are some new kind of things within the record, like the song, obviously the songs with vocals. And I think also even the type of song that the Yonder Blue is something that we haven't really touched on before, kind of like a soul ballad or something.
For sure. I mean, I meant in the sense that well, minus the vocal songs, of course, and we'll get to that in a minute. But for instance, like the whole feel of it, because obviously you won't be, as detached, I guess, as to see objectively, oh, this is classic or whatever, because it's also always, not objectively, it's always subjectively, but it depends on the point of view, the eye of the beholder, really. But it does have sometimes it's a feel of home in terms of the earlier records, I would say. Do you feel? I mean, do you agree? I don't know.
Or
is it always forward?
That's what I was going to say. Like I don't spend a lot of time listening to the old records, but we play some of the older material in live shows. So it all kind of follows like a thread. There's a thread throughout the material, for sure. I think that just comes with the territory, really. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, but does it feel like? For instance, most people at the moment with I don't know, smartphones and stuff like that may relate to this. But for instance, does it feel like then as more or less the same of someone taking a picture and then taking a bunch of pictures and then never looking back at them because they kind of know that they took them, more or less. Right. I know I made this, so I'm not going to go back to this.
Right.
But it, obviously a lot more work than taking a picture.
Well, I mean, we could use, because they're playing so beautifully right now, Dinosaur Jr. as an example. When you hear Dinosaur Jr. Immediately.
Absolutely.
So I feel that it's the same with most bands. If you know a band's music, then you can tell even when a new record comes out, if you haven't heard it, like, oh man, this really sounds like Dinosaur Jr. This really sounds like Jay Mascis, like wailing on lead guitar. I heard his guitar at Primavera in Barcelona.
I did too. I watched that show.
And immediately I was like, oh, Jay Mascis. And someone was like, you could tell just from, I was like, one note, I can tell Jay Mascis.
It's true. That was like with the best of them. Like it's. I mean, with the best. It's not the best, but like
it's just if you're a fan, if you're a fan, and I've been a super fan of Dinosaur Jr. forever.
I haven't met Jay. He was walking around because we were doing Mudhoney earlier, and Jay was just here. And I know, like, I'm friends with some pop people, and they told me, like, Jay is really sweet, just very, very quiet. Right. But I interviewed Lou like 10 years ago when he had the emo record. Yeah, and that was an excellent record, and I've been Sabado fan since very early, because I was a kid, and that's what, he was already out of Dinosaur and already doing Sabado, and just seeing Lou walking around is just like, whoa, and all of them has such a personality, right?
Yeah.
Because Dinosaur is so obvious in a way that it's them, and Sabado is also very obvious that it's them. Yeah. But you would, I know, from a fan back in the day, maybe did you guess that it was going to be like that? As a Dinosaur fan, I mean, as a Dinosaur Jr. fan, like that, because this guy has a lot to offer. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know, because I'm just curious now.
I hoped so. Like when You're Living All Over Me came out, I hoped that the band would be around forever.
Luckily, they're just over there, just playing. Yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. They'll still playing. But I have to ask though. Like, okay, you mentioned the vocal songs on the record, and there's a cover, and there's one of I wouldn't call it classic rock. Classic rock classics, more or less, minus the repetition. But even though it's not really classic rock, it's a less obvious song, which is "Rock On" by David Essex. And I was very surprised when listening to that. I was like, "Whoa, okay, they're doing David Essex. How did this come about? Why David Essex? Why Rock On?"
I forgot how many bongs we smoked before we decided that was the path to take, but. The song is amazing. The original is incredible.
Sure.
The mix is super weird. It almost sounds like I don't know, like Lee Scratch Perry mixed it or something. There's almost no guitar in the original, and there's almost no drums until the very end. But it's this song about singing the merits of rocking on, but with minus these really crucial rock and roll elements. And it seemed like we could put an interesting spin on it. I don't know if you've ever YouTubed the song and just like Googled it and like found all the different versions, but there's some real weird ones out there. I think Def Leppard did a version, and maybe Billy Corgan.
I know the Billy Corgan one. Yeah. The Def Leppard one I didn't hear, but even David Essex himself, like if you Google, like if you YouTube some live versions of it, it's sometimes kind of different, you know. And it's there's one which is kind of like the record. He's just like playing for like I don't know, 10 people, or not 10 people, but you know, well, not many people. Awesome. Fucking great, dude.
I know.
But I just saw them in Barcelona. Luckily, we'll make it so that you can still watch them later. I love that bit, the when they go death metal. You know, I think that's death metal. Maybe, I don't know. But David Essex, for instance. Do you know Stardust as well? Because for this David Essex song, because the Stardust King and rock and roll gang is down, something like that. Or
right.
You know, because for a long time we used to have this German channel with when we had satellites before cable, called Viva, and we had Viva 2, which was the second one, and they used to play a lot of Tortoise. Luckily, at the time you had Wawa also on Viva 1, which was the alternative show, and like a sort of 120 minutes. That's mine actually. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Andy, thanks. It's my cup that was flying for the audio version that people weren't so that people know. I remember. Where was I? I don't know. So okay, Stardust played once and was stuck in my head forever. Right. And until YouTube recently, I did not know what it was.
Right.
And I thought like forever. Oh, this guy David Essex might be that song that I loved. And I just heard like 15 seconds of it.
Wow.
You know, so, and then I Googled it, and he has a lot of operatic. I don't love a lot of his stuff because it's very theatrical. But then he had like Bella Bella has a lot of, you know, operatic songs, and then I could never find it because I only found the operatic stuff. So you know, but it's funny how something that you know, can listen to it for 15 seconds and has such a deep impact on you. Have you ever had that, like that you can remember that you listen to? Oh, I love that, but I don't know what it was, and I could spend forever just looking for it. Sometimes, whenever I remember. Maybe it's just too specific. I don't know.
Maybe. I can't think off the top of my head. But yeah, for sure, I understand having like an earworm of a song that just like keeps gnawing at your brain.
And you know, well, another time that happened to me was with Pavement, though. When I listened to 15 seconds of stereo back in the day, and 97 or something, and I thought, whoa, what is this? And I'm getting all these sorts of signs of stuff that I like that's telling me, go listen to Pavement. And then I did, and it's my favorite fucking band. Maybe one of my favorite fucking bands. So I mean, just from like this, you know, from like tiny snippet of things. But anyway, you know, let me just check because I did prepare this. So we were on the Rock On. Okay, so Shake Hands with Danger might be one of my favorite songs on the album, and you know, what would be a certain, you know, which situations would you be in that would require you to shake hands with danger, you think?
I think if you're operating heavy machinery and you're not taking all of the certain precautions necessary, and there's a chance that your hand might get sucked into like a conveyor belt or something, or into something that's crushing. The title is from a educational film put out by, you know, this manufacturer of heavy trucks and stuff called CAT.
Oh yeah, that's famous. Yeah, the Caterpillar.
Caterpillar, right.
Short for Caterpillar. Yeah.
So it's a Caterpillar educational film on how not to get killed while you're working, and it's called Shake Hands with Danger.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty. You know. Yeah. I can tell. That's, you know. Yeah. I can understand.
So it's kind of like a funeral dirge, a little bit.
Shit.
It's got a death stomp to it.
It's very practical, but leads it not leads. I mean it deals with the grimmest outcome of them all, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. How not to die, you know?
Yeah.
But it's oh, what about I don't even know how to pronounce it. Jessup?
Yeah.
Well, how do you pronounce that? I know.
I don't.
You don't ever. I would have thought it was notes, but then there's a P. So
Yeah. We call it gas cap.
gas cap.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
There's someone just
What happened?
just how do you call that?
Shaking hands with danger.
Just shaking hands with my interview. Hi. And what's it called? The thing?
Hola.
Hi.
So it's muertos humanos. Mueran humanos.
Yeah.
Hola. They just invaded the Tortoise.
What's it doing?
How did your show go?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think so?
I was interviewing Mud Honey, so I didn't watch.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. They just played at your stage like a few hours earlier.
Cool.
John Herndon. This is
Hey,
Mueran humanos.
John.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So this is fun. Hi. And so you don't pronounce it, so it has really basically no meaning then.
I think it's a. I see these are questions I should know the answer to.
You don't need to.
It's like an ancient.
You're just chatting.
It's an ancient Germanic word, and it means like
Teutonic, maybe.
I want to massage your grandmother.
I want to massage your grandmother.
Yeah. But we just call it gas cap.
Grandmutter, ich bin massagiert. I don't know.
Hi. Hi.
Teutonic, maybe from like the Austro-Hungarian Empire or something.
Yeah, we could look it up on our funny phones, but maybe not right now.
No, funny phones, but we could look it up. Okay, this is for a show called Made of Things, and it's based on the assumption that you dedicate your life to music. Because you might have read something or especially heard something or watched something that made you go like, oh, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life. Did you have that moment, and what was it?
Oh wow. I think there were a lot of signs, but I wonder. It's kind of like seeing Kiss for the first time.
Really? Wow.
Was a big one for me. It was before there was a lot of information to gather about what these guys were up to, and I was young and living way out in the country in North Carolina, on like up a mile on a dirt road, and 53 miles to ride the bus to school every day. So it was pretty much a vacuum with not much information about what the fuck these guys were doing. But I saw them, and I got the Kiss Alive record, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And it seemed kind of scary, but like really like exciting and
accessible maybe as well.
It was, but I didn't really hear their studio records until later, but that live record just has such a amazing fullness to it, and the sound was just really crushing. And it was before I knew about punk rock or anything, but so there was that. And I also came from a community where there was like a potluck dinner that would travel from like family to family's house every Sunday.
What was it? I'm sorry. What?
Potluck dinner, where everybody brings something to eat.
Oh, okay.
And people gather and just have a community of people. And there would always be a jam session.
Oh, cool.
And at my friend David and Camille's house, there was a drum kit. He had like an old Rogers, beautiful pearl drum kit, and a Fender Rhodes piano. And so playing with those people while I was growing up was also a big thing for me. Just like, oh wow, people play music, and then there's Kiss.
What sort of stuff did you play
When I was
on that?
It was mostly just real like free-form jamming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of songs, but then I started to hang out with some friends in school who played music, and we would play like Lynyrd Skynyrd songs and like Molly Hatchet and AC/DC, that kind of thing.
Cool.
So it's just like classic rock, really. I grew up listening to classic rock radio.
I wasn't really aware of Kiss, aware of Kiss. Of course I was aware of Kiss, but I wasn't like very knowledgeable of Kiss for the longest time.
Yeah.
And now I've been getting more into it. And recently, I just talked to this on a show of mine, one of these episodes, not too long ago, where I watched Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Opera, the movie. Have you seen that?
I have.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
They're superheroes, because they weren't at the time. They felt like superheroes, right?
Yeah.
Those rock stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Even last night I just watched, this will be the second interview I mentioned this, but last night I watched, or 2 nights ago, I watched Sticks Behind the Music, and I wasn't aware how big they were.
Yeah.
That's fucking huge. They were tremendously huge. So they were like superhuman, like at the time, right?
Sticks
and especially Kiss. 'Cause
Yeah.
they presented themselves as like otherworldly, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So they must have felt like hit hard, I would guess.
I mean, at that time, it was just like whatever was on the radio so a lot of it was like, I was really into the Gap Band record, that had like Burn Rubber, and the like Controversy by Prince was out around then, Dirty Mind, and then kind of slowly started to discover, like a friend had like a Clash record at school, and I was like, oh man, London Calling, wow, what's this all about? And then
It's pretty up
and then
there.
I went to, my dad and my mom split up. My dad moved to the West Coast, and I went to a store and I bought Black Flag's Jealous Again EP, and I came home to North Carolina, and we were just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like started kind of tumbling from there.
For sure. Black Flag, of course. Favorite Kiss song for me, Hear It Loud. How about you?
I have to say Parasite.
Parasite, really good. Okay, see, I know. Sure, excellent. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
John Herndon, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
There we go. We're done.